Happy New Year, everyone! We've entered 2026 with a bang, and the Beyblade X meta has come into December looking more refined than ever. Instead of a wild shakeup, this month shows us a meta that's tightening its standards, steadily weeding out weaker combos and rewarding the builds that can consistently hold up against top-tier competition. We're going to break down the results from the December 2025 WBO official winning combinations thread, analyzed using my custom data tool, looking at the top performing combos, the builds that have climbed consistently month over month, and where the biggest pressure points in the meta are starting to form. We'll touch on Phoenix Wing as a clear example of how refinement changes which builds can survive. Take a look at how Shark Scale continues to shape high-level play, and check in on where CX ended up at the end of its first year of release. Looking forward to what 2026 may bring. All of this analysis is powered by a custom tool I built with my friend Joss, which pulls thousands of entries from the official WBO winning combinations thread and turns them into ranked month-by-month performance data. I provide this tool completely free to the community, so if you appreciate this kind of data-driven breakdown, I'd really appreciate a like, subscribe, and turning on notifications. But with that said, let's get into the January Meta Roundup. Just before that, this video wouldn't be possible without today's sponsor, Beylocker. They've just restocked on the most competitive Beyblade parts straight from Japan. Everything from the new Meteor Dragoon, Mummy Curse, the Jolt Bit, as well as my signature Beylocker combo, Shark Scale 450 level. You can get it all right now at the freshly restocked Beylocker.com. Use code WIZARD to support the channel and snag 8% off your next order. And remember, you can also use code WIZARD at Bays & Bricks and Noozle 3D for 8 to 10% off your purchase at those shops as well, which is an amazing way to save a few bucks and support the channel. Don't forget to check out the brand new merch store to pick up high quality embroidered apparel, your favorite Anti-Wizard Club lock chip stickers, and so much more. Lastly, I'd love to have you become an official member of the Anti-Wizard Club through YouTube's channel membership program. For just a few bucks, you'll get early access to videos, an invite to an exclusive members-only Discord server with me, other content creators, and other community members, access to members-only behind-the-scenes videos like this one, and direct access to me to talk through all of my data and analysis or whatever else you want to talk about. So thank you again for your support, and with that being said, let's get right back into the video. December was a smaller month when it comes to data. Total combo points dropped from 1,233 in November to 978 in December, a 20.7% decrease. It seems like people were enjoying a relaxing holiday break from blading. Ranked combos dropped from 530 to 428. But here's the twist. December is more concentrated at the top of the meta. The top 5 combos account for 23.6% of all of December's points, up from 19.3% in November. So while there are fewer results overall, the meta is becoming more clearly defined at the moment. Now, the number one combo, it's not close. You know it, you love it. Wizard Rod 160 Hexa with 106 points. That's 10.8% of all the points in December by itself. For context, that's 2.6 times the points of the number 2 combo. And for number 2, we've got Hover Wyvern 960 Kick with 41 points. At 3, we've got Shark Scale on now 360 Low Rush with 32 points, followed by number 4 with Cobalt Dragoon 560 Elevate still kicking and contending with 27 points, and rounding out number 5, we've got the up-and-coming Shark Scale 170 Low Rush that's been getting more popular with 25 points. That top 5 alone accounts for 231 points, or nearly 1/4 of the entire month's data. Now, we've definitely seen some consistency in the top combos since I created this data for the community. Wizard Rod 160 Hexa has now ranked top 10 in all 8 months I've done this, from May through December. From September through December, this combo has ranked number 1 every single month. Cobalt Dragoon 560 Elevate has also ranked top 10 in all 8 months, and still finishes top 4 in December. And then there's Hover Wyvern 960 Kick. In May, around its release, it ranked 188th, but in June it went to 105. In July, it really took off and clocked in at 18th. In August, 8th place. September and October, 3rd, and November and December, 2nd place. That's not a spike. That is a full year climb. It's one of the strongest examples of perseverance we've seen yet in the Beyblade X meta. Now, The last few months, I've had a lot to say about Phoenix Wing, and we need to touch on it again, but not to rag on it anymore, I promise. I want to reframe Phoenix Wing, because the data is more interesting than just it's falling off. Phoenix Wing didn't disappear in December. What's actually happened is that its successful builds have narrowed. Phoenix Wing 160 Rush improved from rank 11 in November to rank 6 in December, and its points increased from 12 to 13, a modest 8.3% increase. Meanwhile, 160 Low Rush dropped from rank 20 to rank 70, losing 75% of its points month over month. Phoenix Wing 360 Low Rush fell from rank 12 to rank 48, a 36 rank drop. So Phoenix Wing still wins, but only in more and more specific combos. 160 Rush is quickly showing itself as the do-or-die combo for Phoenix Wing players in the current heavy-hitting meta. Earlier this year, Phoenix Wing could brute force multiple setups and make it work, but in December, the data displays reality for this fan-favorite blade. Now, Shark Scale, well, it's the opposite story. In December, Shark Scale earned 194 points, which is 19.8% of all blade points total. That's up from 171 in November, a 13.5% increase. More importantly, Shark Scale is spreading across builds. Shark Scale 170 Low Rush finishes top 5 in December. Across all Shark Scale builds, usage on 70 height ratchets increases notably in December as well compared to earlier months, and it's starting to make sense mechanically. As Shark Scale wears down, its contact becomes blunter. It bursts less cleanly. Running it taller, especially on 170, improves its smash capabilities and destabilization. The data shows players aren't just using Shark Scale, they're actively adjusting it as the blade ages, and I think that's pretty neat. Now, let's talk about combos that didn't just jump once, but have continued to climb the mountaintop and fought long and hard for a spot in the meta. First, a unique take on the top contender, we have Wizard Rod 170 Hexa. It went from rank 16 in December to 14 in October to 12 in November, and now is top 10 at rank 7 in December. It's a 56% rank improvement over 4 months, and putting that bad boy on 170 frees up your 160 ratchet to be used on more attack-oriented blades. Then we have Shark Scale 960 Low Rush, which went from rank 26 to 19 to 12 to 11. This combo aims to recover some stamina in the all-or-nothing low-blow attacker builds, and sometimes those last few extra spins from the 960 make all the difference. Then we've got Silverwolf 970 Freeball, going from 74 to 52 to 29 to 25. This is a great anti-meta pick into Shark Scale, as it's proven to consistently be able to take hits from the Shark. I know Silverwolf has struggled to find its footing in the meta as a blade, but this combo in particular seems to be standing the test of time. These combos aren't just making noise, they're building momentum. Keep an eye out for them. Now, taking a step back, there's something else building momentum, and frankly, it's a bit scary. I'm talking about the rise of stamina builds becoming more relevant again. In December, Freeball gains points for the 4th consecutive month. Across Freeball, Ball, Orb, Low Orb, and Under Needle builds, total usage increases modestly but consistently. What this tells me is that we're beginning to see counter-meta stabilization. Instead of trying to out-aggro the Shark Scale or Hover Wyvern, some players are choosing to outlast them. They're using proper launch tech and defensive strategies to survive the initial onslaught, negating the weakness of low burst resistant stamina bits, and the strength of the common counter, Wizard Rod 160 Hexa, which only seems to really struggle against true stamina builds. Keep an eye on your local meta and adjust your launch tech and deck building accordingly. Now, speaking of stamina builds, we do see Clock Mirage on 455 Low Orb fall a bit in December from the spike it saw in November. This combo drops from rank 9 to rank 19, losing over 40% of its points. But this story might not be finished. The new 755 ratchet from the Mummy Curse boosters directly addresses Clock Mirage's biggest weaknesses: slightly more weight and improved burst resistance. Clock Mirage will be one of the blades that benefits most by far once people get their hands on 7055 and it gets real tournament reps. So keep an eye out for that. Now, checking back in with CX as we wrap up its first year on the scene, Blast is one of the clearest upward movers. That goes without question. It earned 65 blade points in December, up from 52 in November, a 25% increase month over month. And it moves from rank 7 to one of the top 5 blades overall. That tells me Blast hasn't hit its ceiling yet. Players are still learning how to optimize it and take advantage of this weighty king. Now, looking at CX as a whole, we see that CX builds accounted for 3.6% of the total points in November, and in December, that rises to 5.6%. That's a 55% increase month over month. But looking at this CX data, one of the most important elements to consider is how the metal lock chip comes into play. When we separate CX builds into groups, CX builds with any metal lock chip like Emperor or Valkyrie, and CX builds with no metal lock chip, CX builds with metal lock chips appear more often in the top combos than CX builds without metal lock chips. This is strongly suggesting that the doom and gloom around metal lock chips may not be all that it seems. Do your own testing with your own combos, but don't count out the metal lock chip just yet. Now, turning our attention to ratchets, they're extremely stable. 160 and 960 together account for 48.6% of all ratchet points in December. Nothing unexpected here. And the top 7 ratchet rankings are identical between November and December. That's a solved category at the moment, but we'll see how it shakes out next month when 755 hits the scene a little bit more. Lastly, let's talk about bits. The top 4 bits account for just over 60% of all bit points this month. At the top, Low Rush finishes with 177 points, narrowly ahead of Hexa at 173, less than a 3% gap between them. Low Rush continues to thrive when used with smashed-focused blades like Shark Scale and Hover Wyvern, while Hexa remains tightly linked to Wizard Rod's consistency at the top. The big mover is Kick, which climbs to the 3rd most used bit with 127 points, overtaking Rush at 122. Earlier in the year, Rush was the default aggression pick, and it's still good. But December shows players favoring the more balanced attack style with a bit more stamina instead. Underneath that top tier of bits, stamina bits like Free Ball, Ball, Orb, and Low Orb are slowly growing in presence as well. The takeaway is simple. December's bit meta is focused, efficient, and increasingly selective, with very little room for error in combo building or launch tech. So, to wrap up our big picture from December, Wizard Rod 160 Hexa is still the final boss, and it's winning by a massive margin. Shark Scale is rising not just in power, but in adaptability, especially on taller ratchets. Phoenix Wing hasn't vanished, but its potential combo pool has shrunk dramatically this year. Stamina builds aren't taking over just yet, but they're quietly becoming a bigger part of the conversation once again. CX and Blast in particular are both still climbing, and neither look like it's hit the ceiling quite yet. As is tradition, I want to give a shout out to my favorite oddball winner of December. So, shout out to Curly Tops from our friendly northern neighbor in Canada, who ran an all dinosaur deck featuring 760, 770, and 780 for the Swiss portion of their event and took first place. Congrats and salutes to you. There's a lot more to this data that we don't have time to cover off on today, but I hope this has been helpful and insightful for you. But with that said, like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more awesome Beyblade X content in your feed very, very soon. Don't forget to check out the official Anti-Wizard Wizard Club merch store, linked down below, and remember to use code WIZARD at Basinbricks, Baylocker, and Noozle3D for 8 to 10% off your order. If you want to support the channel even more, you can become a channel member by clicking the join button down below. Channel members get early access to videos, an invite to an exclusive members-only Discord server, and more. Thank you to the current Anti-Wizard Wizard Club members listed on the screen right now. Your support genuinely means the world to me. I love interacting with y'all in the Discord and over different chats on YouTube and all that stuff. Really, thank you so much for supporting. And even if you're not a member, thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. But With all that said, my name is Ryan with the Anti-Wizard Wizard Club, and welcome to the club.